Welcome. Tonight, we will cover the moment when silence was broken. Before the phenomenon fractured reality, before time became a weapon, one man stepped into the light to expose what others buried in shadow. This chapter begins not in a forest, but in a secure hearing room beneath Washington, D.C., where retired Air Force Sergeant Jack Barrett testifies about the most covert operation in human history. What he reveals will challenge memory, defy logic, and ignite everything to come.
Whispers in the blackened skies, echoes through the dreamless night. A mirror held beyond our sight, the first hello, the longest lie. Perhaps the stars were never far, perhaps the end was just the start. We touched the void, it touched our hearts, a secret call we dared not fight. An enigma in the fading light, a question written in our minds. We crossed the threshold, left behind, to wonder, to find. Beyond the mist, beyond the trees, a voice that sang what none could see. First contact is an ancient key, unlocking who we're meant to be. An enigma in the fading light, a question written in our minds. We crossed the threshold, left behind, to find. Beyond the mist, beyond the trees, a voice that sang what none could see. First contact is an ancient key, unlocking who we're meant to be. Beyond the mist, beyond the trees, a voice that sang what none could see. First contact is an ancient key, unlocking who we're meant to be.
The chamber lights dimmed as the witness took his seat. Cameras were forbidden. What followed would be transcribed, redacted, buried, yet ripple through time like a stone dropped in black water. The room was not a standard Senate hearing hall. This was a SACF, secure compartmented information facility buried deep beneath the Capitol. The temperature inside was cold, almost intentionally uncomfortable. The thick, steel-reinforced walls were designed to repel electronic surveillance. Every few feet, recessed sensors blinked quietly. The hearing was convened by the United States Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. Seated among them, silent Heavy with presence were the full members of the Gang of Eight. The Speaker of the House, the Senate majority and minority leaders, and the top chairs and ranking members of both intelligence committees. They did not speak. They observed. Every figure at the table represented the machinery of national survival, and they were about to be confronted with a truth they could no longer control. At the center table sat Jack Barrett, retired USAF technical sergeant, and his attorney, Michael Rourke. The sergeant-at-arms approached with a worn leather Bible. "Please stand and raise your right hand." Jack and Rourke stood. "Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?" "I do," Jack said, steady. "I do," Rourke confirmed. They sat. The gavel struck sharply. Jack leaned into the microphone. "Madam Chairwoman, honorable members of the committee, before we proceed, I ask you to remember this. This isn't just about lights in the sky or classified projects. This is about human lives." He paused, gathering their attention. Men and women, soldiers, airmen, scientists, were exposed to phenomena they didn't understand. Some have died without explanation. Others have lived but not unchanged. What we encountered in Rendlesham was not an isolated incident. It was a doorway, and it wasn't open to study the unknown. It was opened to weaponize it. Jack placed his hands flat on the table. The human factor, the suffering, the exposure, the silence, was not an accident. It was the cost of ambition. Rourke leaned slightly into his own mic. "You are not merely stewards of classified information. You are stewards of consequence." The room grew still. Senator Maria Ortiz, chairwoman, began. "Mr. Barrett, please tell this committee what you encountered." Jack's voice, steady but loaded. "December 26th, 1980, 0300 hours, RAF, Woodbridge, Suffolk, England." Jack described the lights, red, blue, white, cutting through the black mist. The oppressive weight of static, the unnatural distortion of sound and sensation. "We believed it was a crash. But there was no wreckage, no fire, no debris." He leaned forward slightly. Instead, there was something else. Senator Halverson scribbled on his notepad. Senator Graham pressed, "Are you suggesting you experienced telepathic communication?" "I'm reporting what I experienced, Senator." Graham pressed harder. "Hallucination, then?" Rourke calmly interjected. "Objection. The witness is not offering speculative diagnosis." "Sustained," said Ortiz. Jack answered anyway. "No hallucination. The communication was direct, intentional." Jack opened a binder labeled Project Condin, declassified. He tapped the page. "British Ministry of Defence findings. Exposure to UAP radiation may result in cognitive confusion, physiological symptoms, and altered states of perception." He switched to a digital excerpt from the White House Office of Science and Technology. "Our technologies permit us to manipulate time and space." Jack let it settle. "That's no longer theory. It's public record." Senator Voss asked sharply, "Are you telling us the United States had this technology in 1980? Jack's tone hardened. "I'm telling you it was tested, and we were the instruments." Jack placed his sealed medical file forward. "After the encounter, I developed cardiac deterioration consistent with radiation-linked damage. Emergency open-heart surgery followed." He looked at them evenly. "Others suffered neurological decay, chronological dislocation." Jack's voice softened. The colonel who oversaw the third night said it bluntly. If what happened here ever went public, it would change the way people viewed reality itself. The silence thickened. Jack could feel it, the growing dread no one dared name. Senator Halvorsen leaned back heavily. "Why now, Mr. Barrett?" Jack's eyes burned with resolve. "Because the timeline is collapsing. Because the technology we encountered, the consciousness behind it, is no longer dormant. It is moving." He leaned in sharply. "And if you think the phenomenon is waiting for congressional approval before it changes reality again," Jack's voice lowered to a dark whisper, "you're already too late." Jack's voice remained steady as he continued. "The technologies seeded in Rendlesham, the manipulations of space-time, the experiments against Soviet assets, have quietly matured." He paused. "Today, elements of those technologies are fully operational, weaponized, and all without your consent." Michael Rourke stiffened slightly beside him. The scientists involved, the original architects of Operation Echo Frame, did not stop. They found new sponsors, private contractors. They moved underground. Jack's voice became a blade. "They are no longer studying the unknown. They are engineering it." A long, frozen silence fell. Jack let it stretch. Behind the mirrored glass, he knew. Decisions were already being made. And so, with one voice, Jack Barrett reopens a door that was never meant to be unlocked. The phenomenon is moving again, and the countdown has already begun. That's it for tonight. Hopefully, you enjoyed it.
Through the silence of time, I walked alone, but the stars knew my name in undertone. From Rendlesham woods to Saturn skies, I carry the